Hey boys and girls, welcome back. Got the last pattern here in our steelhead series. What we have here is the White Death. Basically just a very simple zonker pattern. Very easy to tie, and you can alter it however you would like. The patterns that I'm tying up here don't have any weight on them, especially with the water being low recently. I'm gonna throw some of these here locally and see if I can't do some searching to try to find some of these fish. But yeah, it's a minnow pattern. Tie it really in any color that you want, depending on the type of zonker that you have or mylar that you have. What we're using here to go through the ingredients real quick. This is Firehole 718. Size 10. The mylar that we're using is just a medium size. I'll get into that in a minute or two. And then hairline white rabbit zonkers. Okay. The thread that we're using is two different colors. Red, this is Semperfly regular waxed. And then I have Nano Silk Black that we're going to use for the head. So some of the tricks that you can do or that you can use is the type of body material that you want. This mylar tubing, it comes with a cord in it. Okay, I would tell you to take that out. It's just makes it a little bit easier to get on the hook, I guess is the best way to describe it. But this is, like I said, the medium size. And I did that I wanted to get something a little bit bigger. Some of the patterns that you see, and I've done it too with different color bodies. You just use flasher boost, something that you're wrapping around the hook. This is a little bit different because it can provide some body depth without any real weight, to where it looks like the belly of a minnow. So let's go ahead and jump right into this here. This is a real quick tie. You can put out a bunch of these pretty easily. Okay, first thing you're gonna do is get your red. And I start it in the middle of the hook or back of the hook. I'm just trying to cover this back end of the hook with the red, and I do go down into the bend on this a little bit further than you might expect because I want that whole bottom half of this coated in red. Okay, just get it down there, just hang it, cut off your excess. Now when you're dealing with mylar, this is a weave. You can kind of see that this is fraying a little bit here. It makes it a little tricky to try to get on the hook if you don't have a clean cut, and that's kind of the trick. Once you pull that cord out of there, you can tell that it's somewhat oval. So I like to put this right over the head of the hook, but having the bulk of it hang below the hook. I'll show you here. And when we try to secure this, it's best to try to do like a pinch wrap where you want it, and then just tighten it up. You can trim these little excesses. You can see how frayed they are already. And I just want to put some real tight wraps on there. Okay. Still kind of keep that hook. Now you just feel your way up here to where the head of the hook is, or the eye of the hook. And I would say to try to clip it in front of that hook. You might have a little bit of cleanup involved like that, okay? But once we push this back, ouch, stabbed myself again. Once we push that back to try to get the thread started, is basically where it's going to start the fray. You can see that. So let me cut this excess off. So I try to push this towards the front of the hook and put a good pinch wrap behind that, because this mylar is slippery too, so it doesn't really want to be held together very well. That one turned out pretty good. You can see how the body is there, kind of below the hook. I am just going to wrap this back, getting tighter and tighter and tighter. I'll do the same to go forward, just to secure this body on here. We can wrap this forward, kind of pull all those little loose fibers, you know, into the wrap. You got to make sure you preserve the front of that head. Okay, that looks kind of good. We got a couple little stragglers in there. And trim those off if we have to be. We still have to bulk this head up a good bit, so I'm not really worried about you know, some of these things out front. And to leave this in the back, that's okay, because it, you know, kind of creates a little bit more motion. So, all right, get your rabbit zonker. And what I do, you always want to make sure that you put this on to where the hair is flowing back. You don't want it to go through the water like this. You want it to go through the water streamlined. So get to the end of your zonker there, and I cut this into a point. Like this. Okay, or like this rather. Easier to see. Just to make it easier to tie in. And we'll do the same thing at the end. Try to strip some of those fibers off the front. And you're gonna lay it to where the point is basically right behind the eye. Pinch that down real hard. And that'll help create some of the bulk for the head that we need. Okay. Now we're just gonna cover this. By what you receive, but the kindness you give, that's what I believe. In every just to bulk that up a little bit. Make sure it's all finished off. We'll finish this. All those little fibers out of there. But the kindness you give, that's what I believe. In every selfless act, in every word be kind. A little bit of those little fibers stuck in there, but nothing to really be concerned about. Okay, so here you have this, and you want to separate the hair so that the open spot you have on the back of your zonker strip is lined up with that little red stripe back here. We're gonna go right over top of that. Make sure you're not gonna squish your belly. And I'm gonna wrap this pretty tight on the way down here. You can see I'm just wrapping backwards. Okay. Now you can use your whip finish tool here. These little hairs get in the way a lot of times. If you have a longer one, it helps. Roundabout trick that way. Okay, you gotta trim off your excess. Make sure you don't cut your belly. Now, how long do you make the tail? Obviously, you don't want it so long that it can foul the hook. So I would say pull this hair back till you got about a hook gap in there. That's a good measurement. Cut straight across that. And then I'm going to turn this over and cut this to a point. Okay. There you go, White Death. Get a little bit of solar res on this, just to protect it. In every word be kind, blessings will return to you just in time. True love is not measured by what you receive, but the kindness you give. Put some on the bottom of this, just to kind of secure that red wrap on there. Also, put your light. Cook it a bit. Get a few little fibers that are hanging out up here by the eye. It's not going to affect how you tie it on. Sometimes I will clip it longer after I can get it tied on and tie some of those fibers back, and you know, it's a preference thing. There you go, guys. The White Death. Change your colors, change your body material if you want to. If you don't want to do the black and silver, you know, this isn't going to affect the hook gap at all. It's compressible, so there you go. Go tie some up, go catch some fish. Still got low water conditions here, southwestern PA, and we're hoping for something to be coming up the coast to keep us moving here. So, all right, guys, enjoy. Thanks for stopping by. Not by gifts or treasures, but in the kindness that goes around. True love is not measured by what you receive, but the kindness